Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Lasgidi Effect. How's it going? How's it going, people? This is actually episode 15, so this is another milestone episode for us. Musty boy, how far?
I'm good, my brother. Well, I don't really. I just do my own thing anyway, so I don't really think about Arsenal too much. So
Look at
it's
Musty
what it
boy
is.
with this Emirates Stadium sticker right behind you in two places. He says he's not thinking about Arsenal.
But I just do. I just forget about it. There. So I'll probably take it down until these people stop lying to us, and I'll put it
Until they
back on.
stop deceiving us. But
Yeah.
anyways, welcome to the show, everyone. If you're just joining for the first time, this is Lasgidi Effect. It's just a show, just some banter, a bunch of Niger boys just come around to talk about football, talk about Arsenal. And right before I kick off the show, I'm just gonna, show you what we're all about in a second.
Tick tock, time na money. Ori, me, check a shake yori. Lick it, come and take me away to the place of my desire. I don't wanna be there. Tori, on the shit.
So Unkpe Olundoshe, that is the word for Arsenal today because Arsenal they delay everything now. Yeah, so yes, Lasgidi Effect. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we have Mossy Boy in the studio as well, and my name is Bemiga. Akuma will not be joining us. Tade might join us at some point. But yeah, a lot has happened in the world of football in the last 2 weeks since we had the last show. Um, I mean, I think they've been, obviously the transfer window has rounded up. But before we start that, there's one game we couldn't get to talk about, because we didn't have the show last week. And it was that appalling game against Manchester City. I mean, it's still now, and most people have probably gotten over the hurt from that game. But I remember on this show, um, I think Mossy Boy, you had predicted that they will beat us 2-0, same as Akuma. I
Mm.
mean, I was even thinking, oh, don't worry, we'll score. But nobody saw that trash shit
Oh my
coming, man.
days.
I didn't see it coming as the goals just kept rolling
No,
in.
what I said is I said Man City is going to win comfortably, but I predicted 2-0. But they did win comfortably. It's just like, we lost 2-0 to Chelsea, and that is still hurting, right? The wound is still there. And they went to Man City. When you have a say when they play you play football for Nigeria, right? When you
Yes,
when you
sometimes.
sometimes, and there's one time when you go to play football, you know, go wear shoes. You peel your toes, right? You
Mm-hmm.
peel
You
your
take
big
it to
toe,
stone. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that toe started to heal up, and he never finished healing. You just use the same toe, hit stone again. You see the pain where that is exactly the type of pain that Arsenal gave us against Man City.
No, man, it was
Man
crazy.
City doesn't have to do much. There is no Kevin De Bruyne. There is no who is not there again. There is no one of their top centre back there as well. Laporte is not there, right?
Mm-hmm. It was.
And they just, oh my god, I
It
was
was
like,
just a joke of a game.
it was a joke
Yeah,
of a
Laporte
game.
was there. John Stones wasn't there.
John
Um,
Stone wasn't there, and John Stone was one of their top defend. Oh my god! Like I can't believe a team that doesn't have a striker beat us 5-0.
bro, that guy Ferran Torres scored 2 goals.
Oh
They didn't
my
play Sterling.
days!
I mean, Sterling didn't start. He came on from the bench, same as Mares. Mares also came
Hmm.
off from the bench. They just flexed us, and
They just
it was even funny.
no.
Big up, first of all, big up my
Ben,
man
ben,
Sentiment. For Sentiment today,
Sentinel,
say man them Cronky out. Sentiment, he's not even joking today. First
no,
comment says Cronky out. Big ups to you. He says I predicted 4
no.
new
You know. Let me tell you one thing here. Uh, I want to kind of talk to a lot of people that is saying Cronky out, Cronky out. We know Cronky is part of the problem. right? But Kroenke is not the guy that set the teams up. He's not the guy that do the signing. He's the owner of the club. He's not a footballing person, right? The people that he puts there, Vinay, Edu, Atata, he believe they're the football people that can put that can let the football thing happen. But these guys are not doing the right thing. So let me tell you one thing. Let the owner get rid of those guys, Edu, Vinay, and Tata. Get rid of those guys. Go and bring a player. Go and bring ex-player like Ian Wright, like Patrick Vieira, Thierry Henry, Dennis Beckham, Overmars. Bring all of them into the club. The players that play for the club that know what it means to play for Arsenal, you will see that different because these guys knows the club in and out. They're saying that, oh, Edu is part of Invincible. How many games does he play? He sits on the bench. He just come on as a substitute. So he doesn't really know what it means. He said in his interview, he said he has faced a pressure before. At which club? You want to be comparing Corinthian to Arsenal? Come on, man. That's why I said that. This is why I said in the group here. I'm sorry to say this. Every single fan that is still believing that these guys are doing the right thing, or this guy believe about the interview Edu did with Sky Sport. Any fans of Arsenal, I'm so sorry to say this if they are angry at if any fan that believe any word it comes out of that man's mouth are the part of the people that is not letting this club going forward. Seriously, anything that he said, I don't. He's blaming COVID. He's blaming what this. You're blaming COVID. We lost the first game. You blame COVID. We lost the second game. You blame COVID. We lost the third game. Come on, man.
It's a
No, no,
funny
no.
situation. It's a really
No.
funny situation.
Mhm,
And I get your point about, because one of the things that is hard to say, right? Apart from the fact that we all know right from the get-go that the problems we're facing this season, they're not just problems, they didn't just start, right? And then
mm,
also people talk about Cronkies because a lot of people believe that the manager should no longer have the job, and
mhm,
the Cronkies are the owners of the club and they're the ones who should be making that decision. But
mhm,
putting if we put that aside for a second,
mhm,
this season it would look like the Cronkies have actually backed Ateta, right? And I know
mhm,
everybody can say, oh no, yeah, even though we're the ones that spend the highest amount of money in
mhm.
this window is not the first time. A lot of the clubs that didn't spend money have already spent money in past windows and they didn't have to spend a lot of money in this window. But as
Yeah.
far as this window is concerned,
Mhm.
spending over 150 million,
Yeah.
you have to say that the Cronkies they've backed Mikel Arteta.
They
And
do
and
that. They didn't give that money to Emery,
they didn't give money to Emery, they didn't give it to Wenger as well,
Wenger.
right? And
Yeah.
the from the moment last season ended, right,
Mhm,
Arteta had all the way until the end of August
mhm,
I mean, let's say not the end of August, or like, before the season started, at least he had like 2.5 months to say the least, to think about who he wanted to sign and
mhm,
prepare his squad for the start of the new season, right? So the
mhm,
fact that he has still now gone ahead and lost the first 3 games, including the match against Brentford,
mhm,
to be honest, we need to I'm not saying cut the Cronkies some slack, but I'm saying over this, how we started the season, like it's fully on the manager and his players, in my opinion. Our sentiment is saying Kroenke is the start of the problem. Edu and Arteta are the symptoms. I mean, I really agree with that. He's saying no more legends, Mossy boy. Don't be sentimental. We don't want legends anymore. Legends don't seem to work out so much.
mhm.
Kroenke should clear house as owner and head of board, and
No,
that's
no. Let me say. I want to say something about that. What I'm saying is, if you bring someone like maybe probably Tony Adams or all the people that they play for Arsenal with their heart and soul, right? That because to me, what I'm seeing with Atata now is he hasn't got a budget. I'm sorry, he hasn't got a target, and he's kind of be too kind of comfortable with sorry, one second. Yeah, he's too
Yeah, sure.
comfortable with everything. He's just believe that, oh yeah, even though if I lose all the 38 game throughout the season, I'm not gonna get sacked because that he got no target. They and with that interview Edu did, then that how can a club like Arsenal we not will have a target where they're supposed to finish in the season in
In
the
this
table?
season. Yeah, and maybe we
What?
should just kick off the. I mean, we can like move on from Man City and just talk about that for a little bit because that was
Mm,
something that caused a lot of controversy during the week as well. This interview with Edu, where, in my opinion, I think that I've come to the conclusion, right,
mm.
that they do have, and I think I said this on the group as well, that they do have a project, right? They have a project. I mean, you could
No,
we
it's not a process
we heard
anymore. It's not
Edu
a project.
exactly. We heard Edu talk about
Mm.
how they're buying a lot of young players, and you've heard things like the youth project will soon go bang. You can clearly see that these people are doing something.
Listen,
They're buying and they're saying it
before
as well.
before you go deep into it, I don't believe in any of it. Seriously, I'm telling you now, it's absolutely. But
I mean, like I
okay,
said, I mean, let me
when
finish, right?
okay, go on,
I'm
go on.
I'm not convinced that it's gonna work, but it seems like that's what they're doing. They want to
Mm,
build a foundation of young stars, and then hopefully in like 2 or 3 years, right, those people would have been experienced and mature enough, and all of a sudden it will go boom. But like I said, there's no guarantee that all these young players will still be here in 3 years' time. Because the teams that have money and the teams that are ridiculously ferocious will come for your players if they get good and you're not winning anything. And so you will always be rebuilding. You also have to prepare for now, which is my biggest challenge with whatever project I do. And I'm apart from the fact that I don't think that they're competent to run it, but I
mm.
also don't think that what they're doing makes any sense. But yeah, you can make your comment.
It, yeah, like I said, it doesn't make any sense. So let me, for example, now we buy all these young players, maybe probably in 2 3 years time, we still don't win anything. Those players are getting to a, to the age of, oh, I need to win something. I want to win trophy. Like player like Nasri left for Manchester City, player like Fabregas left for Barcelona, come back to, they go out to go and win those type of player went out to go and win trophy. We never we now we all these young players we kind of do the same thing. For example, look at Manchester United. They went to go and sign Varane. They don't look at his age. They want play. They want a player that is going to kind of
Because
win them
those teams are
something
they're
now.
trying to win now. Exactly.
Now
They're
it's
trying to
not.
win today.
Forget about project. It's
Look at
only
what we
us
said,
now.
and I like that you brought up this question, this thing about like people like Fabregas and Nasri, people like Van Persie, all of
Hmm.
these kinds of players, even like Clichy, Sagna,
Yeah.
all these players that left us when Man City started to make money and make moves, right? They were all good players. Do you know how many
Hmm.
times we will sit as a team and say, "Oh, I wish we had Cazola and Fabregas and Nasri and and Alexander and all these people together at the same
Yeah.
time. The project
Yeah.
should have gone boom." But
Boom.
the
Yeah.
reason why you will not have them at the same time is that if you're not winning, your biggest players will leave.
They will
The
leave.
teams that are
Yeah.
winning will comfort. Look at Aston Villa and Grealish. It's a good
Hmm.
example. Grealish is a good player, but it's not
Yeah.
going to sit and wait till Aston Villa build
Till
to the
Aston
point where they
Villa
win the
build to
league.
that they
It's
win it.
going to leave. And
It's
it's
gonna leave.
the only player that has not left, in my opinion, so far is Harry Kane. And
You
that's a
know.
man who should have, and everybody knows, even if he tried to leave, he just couldn't,
He tried to leave, and there is like maybe probably 90% chance of Grealish winning the Premier League this season.
Exactly. Look at a man like Mbappe, who is in
Hmm.
the French league, has won the French league a few times, but the
Yeah,
guy's like, I want Champions League. I want to
yeah,
leave PSG.
yes, yeah,
you know, these kinds of things. Look at Haaland. He's going to leave Dortmund at some
Dortmund
point because
at
these
some point.
people want to
Yeah,
win.
they want
And
to win.
if
Yeah.
So, for example, Bukayo Saka, who is probably one of our biggest shining lights, if he has
Mm,
an amazing season this season,
hmm.
before you know, at the end of this season, people will come and say they want him, and
Do
you
you
are
know?
still waiting
Do
for your
you know the
project to
worst?
go
Do you
boom.
know the worst part of it? Yeah, Norwich that only just get promoted. They've catch us up because they are above us in the table.
Dude, we're
You,
last on the
we're
table.
last because every team has already they catch Arsenal up.
Uh,
I was like,
and we'll get to
every time
that.
every time I look at that table, man,
I don't
a lot
even
of
look
people.
at it.
Let,
It's
let, let
three
me tell you
games
one
in.
thing. Yeah, I said to you earlier. Let me tell you one thing. Yeah, Arsenal has never lost 4 games in a row since 1923 or 24. They haven't lost 4 games season start in a row. So I'm thinking because what Atata does is to break all record in
Once you
Arsenal
start
book.
seeing those records, something this
Yes,
team has not happened since
I,
1980. Something you're like, oh
I
my god,
guarantee you that will
it's
happen on
coming.
Saturday. That will
It's
happen on
coming.
Saturday.
Before we talk about that, let me take a few comments.
Yeah.
Sentiment say Kroenke should clear out as owner of head and the board. He says he does, and that is why Kroenke out again. And he has hired people like Gazidis, keeping Wenger, losing Raul, giving Mislintat full power as head of recruitment. I mean, these are issues we've all discussed a lot. Promoting Vinay and Edu, hiring some relegation negotiator Gale to spend Europa budget. I mean, it can go on and on. And it says Project Youth is another scam to buy time. And I 100% agree with that. That's what they're
I
trying to
agree with
do.
that.
They're
100%
trying to
agree with that.
convince us to accept that Arsenal isn't going to win anything in the coming seasons.
Yeah,
And
but what
they don't even know where they're going to end up. They don't want to, and like I was going to say this, they don't want to tell you that this is our target. They don't want to say, okay, we want to finish in top 10 because they know that they don't have any plan. And if they
they
say
don't
top
have
10,
plan. That's the
if they say
thing.
top 10 and they finish 11th, you will come for them and say you did not meet your target. So they're not going to commit to any target. They just say, oh, more Arsenal, if you finish
But
15th,
let me
collect
tell
them
you
like
one
that.
thing. Let me tell you one thing.
I beg you.
I want to ask you a question. What is Edu in Arsenal? Is the CEO, right? Or is the
He's not the CEO.
what is his position?
I think
Tell me.
he's the director of football, right? This is
Director.
not
Okay,
his job.
let me now. He's the director of football, right? Let's say Edu is the director of football in Chelsea, and he comes out and he
Technical
said
director.
the technical director, right? He now comes out on Sky Sport. He said at Chelsea, we are not chasing fourth, we're not chasing sixth, or we're not chasing fifth, even we're not chasing top 10.
He'll be fired immediately.
What do you think Abramovich will do
That
to
will be
him
his
the
last
next
day on
minute?
the job.
That would be the last day of that guy in his job. What is Arsenal owner doing? A technical director of Arsenal Football Club coming out and saying that they're not chasing top 10. That man should be sacked on the spot.
And that's why people are saying Cronky out because it's like the people aren't doing what they're supposed to do and you're not doing anything about it. But
You know,
we will see, shall because everything is looking funny at the
this
moment.
is the reason. This is one of the reason why they don't want to bring proper Arsenal men into the club,
People who
because
love the club
if
and have
people who
football
love, if they
experience,
bring someone like Ian Wright into the club, people like Patrick Vieira, people like Tony Adams into the club, they know that those guys, they're not going to accept
they
the
won't
way the
take it.
club is going,
True,
and
they won't
they
take
don't
it.
want those people will not cover them. They will not cover their back
Yeah, and
because all
that's the
the
absolute truth. Those men will not take it. They will
Mhm.
demand a certain level of excellence
you
and
know
they will demand a
because
lot of the
those
board.
guys will give the manager a target that if you're not meeting this target, just forget about it.
Just forget about it. Something came up on Twitter earlier today, and I was reading
Yeah,
that. And then the report was saying that the problem at Arsenal is not Mikel Arteta, and it's the dressing room. That there's some, disunity or disharmony in the dressing room, and that's why we've not been getting results, right? And I thought it was a bit funny because, first of all, I believe that the manager is the one who's responsible for uniting the dressing room.
that's correct.
So
Yes.
if you then say there's no unity in the dressing room and you don't want to blame the manager, are you saying that the players that it's all on the players? Is it the players' job to arrange the dressing room or the manager's job? I feel like people, I don't know who the people who are doing PR for Mikel Arteta. The other day as well, somebody went to compile a list of Arsenal managers that have done worse than Arteta. And I'm like, why is this even important? So you're trying to tell us that some people have done worse, so we should not criticize Ateta because
So,
they're worse people.
man, listen, that maybe probably the people that they went to go and compile that is done worse than I thought. Then maybe probably I was not born then.
Yeah, it was
You
ages
understand?
ago.
It was ages ago. So why is that matter?
I don't know, man. I mean, there's nothing we will not see over this
Oh
Mikel
my
Arteta
days! Oh
issue.
my days!
Everything just to, convince us that the manager is good. When the easiest way to convince us is just to win on the pitch. You
But
know,
when Mikel Arteta joined, we're hearing a story when he signed William that in 3 years, Mikel Arteta told him that in 3 years he wants to win Champions League.
bro.
Everybody laughed. Like, really? with you that you have no experience in management and you want to go, even those managers that had years of experience, they're not winning Champions League. You
You
that you
know?
got no managerial experience. Did you see what is it called? Did you see have you been watching European qualifier though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've been watching a few of them of those games.
Did you see Germany these days?
Oh my
They're
goodness.
scoring nothing less than four.
Those men are on
Like,
fire, you
that's
know?
what I'm saying. This is when me and Tade were arguing about Ansu Flick,
Nancy Flick, the man
right?
he knows his
Is
job. He's
so
a
when no
proper
no no listen,
attacking man.
you remember when me and Tade was arguing when Tade was saying that Ansu Flick was an assistant and he became my Bayern Munich manager, right?
Hmm.
I said, tell me how many club Ansu Flick has been into. How many years Ansu Flick has been on Atata barely 3 years at Man City, and you're telling me that he's the one that is fit
For the
for Arsenal
job.
Football Club.
I know,
Come on,
right?
man.
I know,
No,
right?
no, no, no,
I
no, no.
mean,
It's totally two different
Nancy
things, man.
Flick he spent so many years as an assistant. For
Assistant,
Germany alone, he spent about 8 years as an
you
assistant
understand what I
manager.
mean? And someone that have not even spent 3 years because he won title
Because
he's
the
not
one
the
that
manager
do you
because
understand?
listen, there's one interview. After the Manchester City game, they asked Pep Guardiola about Atata. When he said, "Oh, he's
I
a
bet
good
Guardiola
manager,"
is
he
a
said,
bad man. He's just
"Listen,
bantering us.
listen. Let me tell you one thing." I said, "If I'm your friend, right? Like as we're a friend, so on what's it called, LinkedIn,
Mhm.
they say, oh, can you endorse?" I'm not gonna go onto your LinkedIn and say, "Oh, Gbemi guy is this, Gbemi guy is that." I will be the word I'm gonna be using will be like, okay, I will be kind of complimenting in a way that I want you to stay
Yeah.
in that job because every time, like to
For me, I
me,
would think at the moment it's a ridiculous question for any, for any pressman to be asking Pep. Because
Pep,
Pep isn't going to say
it's
anything bad
not gonna
about
say
Mikel.
anything
It's
different.
going to tell you Mikel is the best manager. He knows everything about
Yeah,
football. That's what he will always say. I don't know why you're still asking him,
why we always he said Pep said, "Oh, he helped me a lot. We achieved a lot of good things." What do you expect him to say, man?
Exactly. Sentiment
Eh,
you're saying, hearing Edu, I understand why players have left. Louise, William, and are acting up. Laka, Oba, it's a loser's game with a loser's mindset. To be honest,
mhm,
if everybody, the fans know it, so I'm sure the players know it. Something
mhm.
isn't working at Arsenal right now, right?
No, no, yeah.
And the easiest fix is to change the manager and the management.
And
Uh
yeah, that is the easiest way because to me there is a lot into it when they're saying that the owner should leave. There is a lot more into it for owners selling the club, and it's not. It can't just manager. You can just sack manager just like that and bring another
yeah,
person in. But
and team.
changing the ownership of the club is not just like that. You
Yeah,
understand what I mean?
which is
So
the absolute truth.
it's just like maybe for example, let me give you for example now. If you want to buy a house, it's not like you're going to say, oh, okay, the bank is going to say, okay, yeah, we've borrowed you the money like this, like just straight. There's a lot of process into it, if you
That goes
understand what
into
I
it.
mean. So that so it's better. It's better. The easiest way to do it is just to get rid of the manager and just bring another person
Yeah,
in.
and just change things. Yeah. But anyways, let's move on from that disappointment against City. Okay, let me take a sentiments comment real quick. An inconsistent manager leading inconsistent players in an inconsistent lineup with an inconsistent system and resulting with performance and results. To be honest, this sort of summarizes what we're going through. I said they need two more board members like David O'Leary. I mean, I've
Hmm.
said it on here before. Our board consists of four people, right? Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, Tim Lewis, and I can't remember the last guy's name now. right?
Mm,
When you look at that, Stan and Josh are already
mm.
minus because those people don't really know much about
They
football.
don't know much about football, man.
This last person is like one old man who I'm sure is just there because he's British. So like, and Tim Lewis is the secretary, right? So at the end of the day, there's nothing on our board. I'm really sorry, and that's why we're where we are. But let's move on from that.
Mhm.
Mossy boy, transfer window has ended. Though.
Yeah,
Transfer window don't end.
yeah, yeah.
Everybody don't buy who they want buy. Don't sell who they
Hmm.
want sell.
Yeah.
Last day of the transfer window,
Hmm.
your man Ateta pulled
Hmm.
out a transfer of his own and brought Tomiyasu in.
Hmm.
I must confess,
Yeah.
this Oluwatomi, I never hear about him before that final day.
Oh my days.
That day, now the first day where I hear about him. But I mean,
I
granted, that's just me because I didn't really watch a lot of Italian football,
yeah,
right? I can play for Bologna.
yeah.
But since he came in, obviously the PR machine has been activated. A lot of PR
Hmm.
has been happening. We've watched a few
Yeah,
clips of
yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What do you think about the signing, man?
Okay, so like you said, I've never heard of him. A lot of people were saying that, oh, he did really well for, he's Japanese, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he did really well for Japan at the Olympics. It's Olympics. It's not like a World Cup or, you know, I don't really know much. I've gone to go and watch him on YouTube, but I cannot use that to judge him anyway until I see him play, like maybe probably for Arsenal, like maybe probably 10, 12 games. Then you
Then
can see what it's all about. So the league is coming from, you cannot use that league this is Premier League. You understand what I mean? So
hmm I mean, we've
we
seen
we
some images, head stories,
mm,
Tomiyasu, how he defended against Ronaldo, how he can play center and then replay right back. I
mm,
mean, even
it's
sentiment here is saying Tomiyasu is better than basic Ben White, BBW.
But the thing is, this is Premier League.
This is the Premier League.
A lot of players come from another league, come into the Premier League. They don't even hit the ground running. Look at
And
Pepe; he's still struggling
it's
he's
still,
still struggling to get used to play. And when he was playing in France, it's one of the elite young player there. But you know, we'll see. We see what it might probably be better than Hekby. So
I mean, Ekibi as well went on loan to Real Betis, and you could
I
see
know,
from day two, Baba was already
to
he
me,
was already
why don't you
dropping hot drip for us.
just
Fashion
take the money
icon.
for this guy and just let him go.
Yeah, man. Um.
It's,
Anyways, Oluwa told me we use
mhm,
God. We take God, take follow you. Like say
you know,
ancestor day and I for pray for
if
you.
I pray for you, yeah,
Hopefully, it turns out to be a great
to be
signing.
a great signing, yeah.
We knew that we needed a new right back going into the
Mm.
new season because I mean
But
Hector clearly needed a new challenge.
we've been crying for that for a very
Yeah,
long
Hector
time.
clearly needed a new challenge.
Mm,
And nobody was really convinced about Chambers. So hopefully,
mm,
Tomiyasu hits the ground running.
mm,
Sentiment here is saying ahead if Tomiyasu, ahead of Tomiyasu, I believe what I was saying, it was linked to the scum because of the experienced real actual director of football, Paratici. Um, but yeah, a lot of people had never heard of him, but I mean, it's okay if you've heard of him.
mm,
He also says, Mossy, Pepe struggles under Ateta because he's a forward, not a midfielder. As Ateta plays him too deep
mm.
and too wide, in my opinion.
And
Sometimes,
too negative, I would
making
say.
exact and
Too
just too
negative.
negative,
Yeah.
making him to hog the touchline,
Mm.
90% of the game. It's not going to do anybody any good.
Yeah,
Pepe is a guy that you want
the
close to
reason
the
why it's
box
like
as
that
much as possible.
is because that is the way Pep Guardiola play. He, all his winger, they will just be hugging the touchline. They just stay there until they pass the ball to them before they kind of drifting. If they're not passing the ball to you, you have to stay at the line. I think I mentioned it before. Thierry Henry, when he was at Barcelona under Pep, Thierry Henry was playing on the left,
Yes,
and he said Pep Guardiola told him that he has to stay
to hog the
on the
touchline.
line all the time without the ball. He said there's one time he doesn't stay on the line, he's just drifting. They pass the ball to him, and he dribbled the first player and he hit the ball, he scored from there. and the next minute Pep Guardiola drag him out because he doesn't stay on the line. He just substitute him because
Now,
he
there
doesn't do
Ateta
what.
really learned this in
You
dictatorship.
understand what I mean? No, if because that is the that Pep Guardiola might have the players that can do it and do it well, but at Arsenal you have to play what suit those players that you have at hand. Even though if Pep Guardiola come to Arsenal, right, he knows that Arsenal is not as rich as Man City, they are not as rich as Chelsea, they are not as rich as Man United, but Pep Guardiola will find a way to suit those player that he's got at Arsenal. You can't just say, oh, because you come from Man City, this is the style of play they do in a Man City, then that is the style of play you want to bring to Arsenal. No,
True, true.
you
I
don't,
also
you don't.
think Guardiola clearly plays he plays attacking football. He attacks
Hmm.
team, he presses team.
Yeah,
Arsenal doesn't play that style of football. Our football is quite negative, and we're
listen,
always defending.
let me
So
say this. I will keep saying this, yeah. Since the day at, but I know Tade is not going to agree with me. Since the day Atata took over as a manager, we have got no pattern of play. Every single game we're going into, okay, we are playing they show the formation on Sky Sport or whatever channel you're watching it. This is the formation we're playing. You watch Arsenal, they're just like a bunch of 11 players that they just pick from the streets. Just go and
Tade would
play.
definitely argue that point with you.
They don't they don't have a pattern of play. We don't have a
I,
pattern
I, I,
of play.
well, I mean,
And
to
I
be
and I
honest,
will
I
keep saying this, right? We still play better football under Emery
under
than this guy.
Emery than this guy.
And I will
But
keep
I mean, to
saying
be
that.
honest, I wouldn't have said this last season, right? Because I think last season Ateta found a way to prepare his players to defend. What I know that he clearly doesn't have is attacking tactics. He doesn't know how to prepare a team to attack,
Mhm.
which is why his attackers are some people that are suffering the most, right? And it's also why last season we're able to achieve that seemingly good defensive record that we achieved. But
Mhm.
this season, everything has collapsed. Now, both
Yeah.
defense, attack,
This is the thing.
nothing is working out.
This is the thing. Yeah. Arsenal has never been a good team for since the towards the end of Arsene Wenger era, right? But
Mhm.
under Arsene Wenger, we have Aubameyang, right?
Yeah,
Under Emery, we have Aubameyang.
yeah.
Then our team was really bad, but
Hmm.
Aubameyang is still
Was
scoring
banging in goals.
over 20
That's the
goals
thing you know
a
about
season,
Wenger,
right?
right? No matter what is happening,
Yeah,
Wenger's team will get goals.
goals. That's right,
100%. They will always
100%.
get goals.
So Aubameyang is still banging in over 20 goals a season. How come all of a sudden, when we have Atata, these guys struggle to score
Yeah,
goals?
because he's playing left back under Ateta. Yes, now
It's-
he's playing left wing back under Ateta.
I don't
Half
know.
of the time, because see, when you watch football sometimes, right? I remember, if you remember this popular Ozil's goal, right,
Hmm.
where I think it was against what's the team now, Ludogorets.
Yeah.
That one where El Neni gave him the ball and then it was free. He
Mm.
dribbled the keeper and some defenders and tapped the ball
Yeah,
into the
yeah,
net.
yeah, yeah.
The reason why Ozil could receive the ball at that point is because even though everybody was defending, he
Mm.
stayed in the midfield,
In the midfield, yeah.
right? So that when the ball, if somebody wins the ball, there's somebody to receive the ball in the midfield and start
Hmm.
a quick counter attack,
Hmm.
which was what led to that goal. Under Ateta, because everybody has to defend, including your number 9.
Yeah.
Even if you want to counter attack, you are counter attacking from the back again.
From the
There's
back
nobody
again,
to receive the ball in the midfield. Now,
that is the
when
thing.
we're playing attacking football and you will still have men like Aubameyang, like Lacazette, staying in the midfield when people go and defend, they will
Mm.
always get goals because when
Hmm.
there's an opportunity to go forward, they are in front.
They are in
But
front. That's
now,
right.
before the guy even runs from his own end,
Half.
box 18, to get to they don't collect ball for your
You know,
hand.
you
Easy like that
understand?
now.
It's
You know,
Aubameyang. First of all, Aubameyang, like I said, they are not a defender. They are striker.
they're
Their
attackers.
job,
Let them strike.
their job is to score goals. Don't Cristiano Ronaldo don't. Sometimes he go to the back to help the team. Like, when did you see Cristiano Ronaldo to say, okay, I want to go and his job
Except,
is to score
except maybe
goals.
like, we have a one goal lead, the game is coming to
Yeah,
an end, we're trying to
and then
protect our lead. Then
lead,
we know
and
that
he just
our
he
everybody's
just
job is
go back.
defense.
You
But
understand what I
it's
mean?
nil nil. We're playing
No,
Brentford. Why?
you
Why?
know,
Why is Aubameyang defending and not
defending.
causing headaches in Brentford's defense? It's
You
crazy.
know. Uh,
Sentiment says Pepe should be playing in between the half spaces of the left back and left center. That's where you
that's
want
exactly,
Pepe. You
yeah,
want Pepe always that if as close to the box as possible
as
and
possible. Yeah.
facing the box in a diagonal way, so that
Mm-hmm.
when he receives the ball, he doesn't need to do too much. Pepe is efficient.
Mm-hmm.
If he takes 10 shots, he will score at least 7. You know
7.
that. So you want
Mm-hmm.
that guy as close to the box as possible. So when
As
he's
possible.
receiving the
Yeah.
ball, he's shooting. We've seen Pepe's shooting. We know
You
that guy
don't you
knows how to shoot.
because you don't want Pepe to be in his own half.
You
Started to
get.
want to make
He now
something
has to
happen
first of
from
all
there.
try to get past 3 players before he can
You
even.
know,
You, I
it's
don't know,
not.
man.
It's
It's the same
but
thing for Aubameyang as well. You need to get that guy close to the
the,
box as much as
yeah.
possible. That's the only
My
way he will
question to
score.
you now is so if you are an Arsenal manager, if you are bottom of the table, there's no difference between you and Atata. So what I'm trying to say is, if you're there now,
They might as
will
well
you be
try
doing
me.
a better job?
They might as well try me because I mean, what I
I
would let the players play, which is
play,
what men like Wenger knew.
but another thing I don't understand is like so Campbell is offering his service for free. He said
Yeah,
at
I have
least
no
if they
problem.
can give him like 2 days or 3 days just to come and coach the defense,
They
he's
don't want men
offering.
like that here. Ateta
Yeah,
can't stand that.
they can't because he knows that he doesn't want people to question his authority. That's
He can't
what I'm
stand that.
saying that last time. He doesn't want player to question, okay, why do we have to do this? He doesn't want like any player that question because those are the reasons. That's the reason why a player like Xhaka get a new contract
Yeah,
because he's
exactly.
a yeser to Mikel
And
Arteta.
talking about that as well, I will soon get to that. But let me take sentiments comment. I say overlapping right back solve the problem, not the invited right back. And I think this is why Bellerin and Pepe didn't quite work because Bellerin was more of an inverted right back. You two will try to invert into the center of the pitch, and
Yeah.
then that forces Pepe to stay on the wings. But if you have, so it's what Chambers did well for Pepe. So Chambers will come all the way until Pepe can enter the box. So we go see football fans tribe is here. Oh, Big Baba,
Yay!
well done. Oh,
Yeah.
you should come back on the
We
show
hail
one of
you.
these days. So we don't miss
We
you.
hail.
Oh.
We hail.
Yeah, big up to football fans tribe.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Lasgidi Effect. Well, I was gonna say something. So
Yeah.
in the vein of talking about the kind of people that Arteta wants, right?
Mm,
Look this guy now. Just yesterday or 2 days ago, two
mm.
clubs say they won't buy this guy. Arteta no sell. What's going on there? Why does Arteta like El Neni so much?
Because he said it already. Because he said he like a player that got zero ego. Because this guy got zero ego. If he can sit on the bench, then whenever he needs him, just go and do it. And he will say, oh
Bro,
yes, sir, I want to go and do
I
this.
don't get it. I'm serious because I mean, yeah, I know that at the moment, and Xhaka is suspended. Pate
Hmm.
is just coming back from an injury,
We are short in the midfield.
right? We're a bit short
We're
in the
not going to be
midfield,
risking Party because
right?
he's going to get
Um,
injured again.
yeah, I know we're a bit short in the midfield.
So he left us
Um,
with Ainsley
we
Maitland-Niles
have
and
Maitland and
Lokonga.
Sambi Lokonga.
Those are the two.
But
And
I
if
feel like that's short
you know,
term because Xhaka will soon come back from his injury, or will soon come back from his suspension, and Partey will soon, be fit again,
mm,
right? And I feel like this is the last chance we could have gotten to sell Elneny. Now I'm not saying Elneny is not a terrible player, right? In
mm,
my opinion, is one of the midfielders that will get goals for us, 2, 3
mm,
goals a
mm,
season. Our midfielders don't score goals. Xhaka, I can't. I mean, Xhaka probably scored like 1 or 2 goals last season. Partey
mm,
has never scored for us. We don't
yeah,
know what Lukonga will do. Our highest scoring midfielder was Joe Willock,
yeah.
and obviously we've sold him, right? But I don't think El Neni is of the caliber that will take us to the UCL, right, or that will win us an Europa League. I think it's just one of those squad players. But I feel like if you can get better, why not? Why not let the guy go and go and play in a league where you will find his
Mm,
level? Why
this
keep this
level,
guy
yeah.
in here so he can?
Mm.
Because the truth
But
is,
the thing, like I said, this manager doesn't like player that this is the reason why I would say this is the reason why Arsenal doesn't go for big name players that ready-made players. You understand?
it's why we're
Look
going
at
for
for
young
example. Okay,
boys.
let me give you an example now. Yeah, William. They sold a story to William that okay, we're going to when you come to Arsenal. I don't, I'm just saying, come to Arsenal. these are the players that we this is the type of player that we're going to bring in to play around you. They sold the same story to Aubameyang to sign the new contract. Those players didn't
Mhm.
come through the door.
True.
You understand what I mean? What did Edu said in the interview? He said the first game of the season you play really well. Then what's happened since then? William said it's not comfortable. Why is he not comfortable at Arsenal Football Club? He doesn't have the right players around him. Look at the type of player played around him in Chelsea. Everybody was just saying that William is this. William, we know that he doesn't. What's it called? He doesn't perform on the field. But sometimes a player might be performing because he's got the caliber of players around him.
Around him. Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So he has to kind of, yeah, they have to reach an agreement that, but this is what you told. I believe Edu doesn't want to say that, okay, this is what they should ask Edu the question, okay, when you are signing,
William,
William, what do you kind
what
of,
did you plan for
what
him?
did you plan to,
Um,
he's not going to answer, I'm sure he's not, he's
I
just
mean,
saying, oh,
Edu attested to the fact that the William project didn't work, right? Football fans try to be even toxic. He's saying William has to be the MVP of this transfer window by walking away from Arsenal, and I think he
mm,
tried to make that statement as well because
mhm,
you could hear him during that process saying something like,
yeah.
"Oh, if I came here for the money, I won't be leaving when I still have 2 more
When
years on my
that's
contract,"
correct,
right?
because the
Um,
project they told him is they're not giving
they
him that
sold him a
project.
project and clearly
Yes.
it's not working out, and it has been a huge dent on his own reputation as a player as well. So I mean, big ups to him for walking away, to be honest. A lot of fans didn't like him
But
anyways.
so for me,
uh
I give him a lot of respect for that,
yeah,
because he just find an agreement with the club to say, okay, don't just let me carry on collecting your money.
yeah,
We
exactly.
reach an agreement, just let me leave.
And
Let
he
me rip up
left,
my contract and I just leave. So I
and
respect him
yeah,
for
because it
that.
was getting really toxic for him. A lot of fans, I mean, I'm one of those
Mm,
fans. I didn't even want him here in the first place. So
mm.
like every day I saw him, I was upset,
I was,
But all of a sudden now I respect him because I'm like, oh, okay, Baba,
mhm.
I didn't thank you because
Ozil doesn't do that. Ozil stick to his contract. You
yeah,
understand
valid,
what I mean? He
valid,
stick to his contract that, okay, I'm on under contract, and
and I'm gonna take
you
my
have
contract.
to
Right.
abide by it, and he keep collecting his money,
Valid, valid.
even
And
though
you know
even
Ozil, we begged Ozil to stay, to
to
be
stay.
honest. We,
Listen, as long as he goes to training, he goes there to do his job.
yeah, you're the one who didn't play him.
If he make himself available on the match day, but the manager doesn't pick him, there is no way the club will not pay his salary. They have to,
Valid,
because
valid.
he make himself available.
Ozil didn't even get the kind of game time that William got. Our
William,
sentiments is
you
here
know,
saying, "Oh, we are short in the midfield." Edu said we have Lokonga. We didn't need to get more midfielders on top of Partey. And this name you've called Xhaka and Rasclad Xhaka Mott, manager slayer. Project Youth
oh
going
my
bang. Come on now,
days.
you Project Youth now we
You
dey
know,
look
you
so
know,
for
you know,
Arsenal
you,
now.
do you know
God go
what
make this project go bang. Go Baba
do you
God, be
know
there
what I'm
your hand.
thinking?
Oh.
Yeah, do you know what I'm thinking?
What are you thinking, my brother?
What I'm thinking is, this Edu, to me, the guy looks dodgy.
You be like mafia lord.
He looks like mafia. I think he was there, like, kind of, oh, I'm gonna be taking Arsenal money.
I
I'm
go
gonna be
flex
taking,
this.
I will finish
Man. I
them.
will tell you, you don't go
Then
know waiting did that
when they
guy
get
mind.
relegated, I will leave. You understand what I
You
mean?
don't go
That
know
guy,
waiting did that guy mind. Yeah, and at that time, I don't
you
know
know,
waiting how they take hold this club. They hold the club for neck like this. Say if you try
I'm telling
anything no
you,
more, it go run you. Oh, sir. May God help us, sha. To be
you know.
honest, let's move on. Let's look at our next fixture coming up this Saturday. Arsenal Norwich. You
Mm.
don't dey hear am now for Twitter, don't dey hear am for social media. Everybody don't dey talk am. Our season starts this weekend. Our season starts this weekend.
Mm.
As if 3 points
Listen,
on game week one is different from 3 points in game week four.
our season started 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Bro, you know
We
this what fans did.
listen.
They said our
No, no,
season
no, no,
started in
no.
December last season.
I'm not going to accept that. We have lost our first three.
Three
Our
games.
season has started a long time ago.
Man, we're nine
Don't
points
tell me
short.
our season started on Saturday. No.
We're
You
already
know,
9 points short. Oh, you
we're
are
not.
as in man. We are
Do you know
already
the
nine
do
points
you know the
behind.
painful part of it? Tottenham are top of the
Yeah,
table
we're
right
already
now,
9 points behind Tottenham.
behind them.
9 points behind Tottenham inside in game week 3. That's
Oh
how
my
that's
days.
the reality of Arsenal at the moment. 1 point behind the league leaders.
I'm not saying the Tottenham might probably go all the way through the season,
Yeah, but you shouldn't be nine
winning
points
nothing.
behind them in game week 3.
But
It's bad.
why?
We haven't scored a goal.
Why?
There are only two teams that haven't scored this season, right? It's Wolves and Arsenal.
Mm,
0 goals. Even Norwich has
zero.
scored 1 goal. We haven't scored
Yeah.
any. We've conceded, joint, the second highest number of goals conceded in the league is us. Because Norwich has scored is why they are even 19th and we're 20th, because we will never
Mm,
even net 1 goal. But
no,
now battle of
last
the now
Saturday,
relegation battle this weekend now for us.
Clash of the Titans. It's
19th
Clash
versus
of the
20th
Titans.
this season. Now the battle we dey play this weekend be that.
Mm,
A lot of people have said that this weekend will be how we start to redeem our season. It's on Saturday, and then next after that we have Burnley, then we have Wimbledon before we play Tottenham, right? So
mm,
the projection that we see now is that if we can win our next 3 games, our season has started,
mm.
right? What do you think is going to happen against Norwich, Mossy
You'll be surprised what I'm gonna say, and I will be coming back here
Mossy boy,
next
please
Thursday.
now. Mossy boy, please now.
Listen. I will be coming back here next Thursday, and I will be telling you that I told you. You know,
You
I
told me
sent.
what, Mossy boy? I don't want
Listen,
to believe what you were about to say.
I send you a picture on the group chat to say a picture. We haven't played Manchester City game, but I send you a picture of what fans are going to be looking like in that game. Did you remember that
Yeah,
picture?
I remember that. I
That's
remember
right.
that.
So what I'm gonna say is because Atata breaks all the record in Arsenal books. Like I said earlier, Arsenal has never lost 4 games in a row since 1923 or 1924.
Bro.
Like 4 games in a row, which I believe this Saturday is going to happen. Ateta is going to break that record. The
When we
reason why?
start saying all these
Listen,
things,
wait. I'm telling you now that any team that want to play Arsenal in the Premier League, they always, oh yeah, we're playing Arsenal. They will be rubbing their hands and say, yes, this is easy 3 point for us. And I'm telling you now, Norwich will be beating Arsenal on Saturday. And we are at
bro,
Emirates.
I don't
And I will be
believe
coming down
you.
here. I will be coming down here next Thursday, and I'll be
To
saying,
say,
Demi guy, I
Baba, I
told you.
disagree with you. I beg. Our boys, we have all to play for. Yeah,
No,
Mossy
no,
boy, we're
no,
20th. Oh.
let me tell you one thing. Yeah, you see this transfer window. Yeah, if I want to rate this transfer window, I'm rating this transfer window 1 out of 10. And the reason why I'm rating it 1 out of 10 is because of Lukunga. That is the only player. And very soon, because player doesn't progress under this
You know,
manager.
like Oluwatomi. Anyway, you never see
I
him play,
haven't
but
seen him
even
play now.
Tavares though, Tavares
So
has been a bit alright too now.
this is it. Because the reason why, if you look at our first game, second game, and third game that we played, the team, there is no passion, there is no fight, nobody is playing, and none of these players knows what it
What
takes
to do?
to be. They don't know how lucky they are playing for Arsenal Football Club. This is the reason why when I some there is a news that they're saying that Ateta was even saying in his press conference that our door is open for Jack Wilshere. I'm
To come
happy
and
for
train.
Jack Wilshere to come back. I'm
Yeah,
happy because
it's
he's an
at least train
Arsenal
with the
boy.
team, so she can instill that passion in some of those
You
boys.
understand what I mean? Because if a player like Jack Wilshere is in the middle, he will be telling the other player in the middle, look, you are playing for Arsenal Football Club. You are not playing
You
for.
gotta wake up.
You got come on. This is Arsenal, man. You understand what I mean? So
Valid
those
then, but
players that we have at the club now doesn't have
they
that.
don't know what it
They don't.
takes.
None of them. I will tell you right now. None of those players at Arsenal Football Club, even Mikel Arteta, doesn't know what it means
What it takes to
playing
manage.
Tottenham.
I'm telling you,
Please,
that's
they
why
don't.
that's why, in my opinion, they think it's okay for us to be on these projects where we're not going to win in the short term
You
because
understand what I
they don't
mean?
understand that this club is built on winning. But Mo with Sisha, sentiment saying guessing fans was right. We needed extra midfielder, and Owa and Sanchez were available for loan. Bissouma was still flirting with the club on deadline day, but I
Mm,
mean, people said no now.
that
I
is
said
that.
we should have had 3 points minimum as of now. To be honest, we could have had in my. I always say it, but I mean, maybe in all fairness, because Chelsea, at the end of the day, they are the Champions League winners. They're probably the
Mm,
best team in the world at the moment. And City, of course, are who they are. So yeah, maybe it is tolerable to lose against those people. But I don't think that we always have to lose against
no,
those boys. I'm
listen,
serious because
listen. No,
City lost their first game of the season to
of the season
Spurs.
to
Do you get?
Spurs.
So it's not like they're impossible to beat.
Yeah, but
But
no,
at least we should have beaten Brentford and we should have those 3 points. Yeah.
God, no, 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 no. Don't football is not like that. Football is funny. I'm not saying that we cannot lose to Brentford. It's the manner, the way we lose to those teams. Those teams doesn't have to come out of the first gear.
Especially Chelsea and City, they didn't even have to
They
try.
don't have to do anything to beat us. But we've seen Arsene Wenger lose to Chelsea. We've seen Arsene Wenger lose to Man City. But we don't give them easy go. If you understand what I mean, they work for
They
it.
work for it. True. Sentiment here saying 9 points due to incompetence and Project 419. You scammers. But what fans try? Well, he says Norwich win and that's Arteta gone. I don't think so, to be honest.
Mm,
It's seeming to me that the board are sticking with Arteta regardless of whatever happens. But I mean, now that fans are in the stadium, the pressure will pile on. Maybe, but I really don't want us to lose to Norwich. I'm really hoping that we
um,
can we can do the business against Norwich and get our season going. But I'm not really certain about this manager. Sentiment here is also saying Norwich haven't won a game yet, and they've beaten Arsenal at home since '92. And haven't beaten Arsenal at home since '92. Rather, Arteta record breaker masterclass. To be honest, I'm really once I start hearing all those this has not happened since 1980. I'm like, oh,
I'm just going
because
to know that it's
it
going
kept
to
happening
happen.
throughout last season. Burnley
Mm.
has nobody, this person has not beaten Arsenal at the Emirates since you just know, say, oh, man. It'd be like, say, we go lose this one. Oh. But for me, right, I know not most people has predicted Norwich to beat Arsenal. Me, I
They
don't
will be,
agree,
they will,
Sha.
I
I
predicted
think that
1-0 to
Arsenal,
Norwich.
I predict a 4-0 Arsenal triumph over Norwich on Saturday. And
Okay.
that's what will happen in the mighty name of Jesus.
Listen,
Amen.
let me tell you one thing. How many goals did Arsenal have scored this season?
Zero now.
So where is the 4 goals is
No,
coming
no,
from?
but we scored 6 against
No,
West
in the
Brom.
league.
West Brom Team C that year now.
Listen, West Brom allow us
West
to
Brom
come
C
and give
team.
them 6
The
because
C team that
they
we played
change
that
the
day.
whole team. They make at least West Brom make about 7 changes from their first team.
They were like what,
So
like 4 or 5 players
for,
who that was their debut.
you understand what I
And
mean?
we went
So
with our with our best team.
and we went there to go and play
My
with our first
goodness.
team straight
Yeah,
up.
that was funny, right?
Let me tell you one thing. In the league, uh, to me, yeah, yeah. Edu was saying that we got Aubameyang and Lacazette that can give us how many goals this season.
I say Abamian will give you
This
20
is
goals. Lacazette
this
will give
is
you
the
15
reason
goals.
why
Since which year goals when I don't drink
this is
almost.
the reason why I'm saying that any word that comes out from that guy's mouth, I'm not
It's
believing.
a lie.
And it is a lie. Listen. Let me tell you one thing. They say that first of all, they said it's a process. Now they change it is a project. I'm not believing there is no project. There is no process.
Nothing. They just a change in
Nothing.
nomenclature.
I'm
Nah,
not believing any of it. I'm sorry, but it's absolutely
they just
it's
use nomenclature. They
they just
flex us. Nothing they there.
before you know now they will change it to something else.
They will
You
change it to
understand what I mean?
transaction.
You understand? So
Oh my
don't just
goodness.
seriously that guy. There are some generation of Arsenal fan that this guy can fool. Not everybody.
Not everybody, to
I'm
be
not the part of
honest.
people that they can fool. They're not gonna fool me.
Not everybody. When you see
You
people
understand what I
people
mean?
who knew Arsenal, under Wenger, the days when we used to win, that's when I started watching Arsenal. We used to play. People used to talk about Arsenal playing the most exciting brand of football.
You understand
Even
what I
when we
mean?
weren't winning, even when we were on a trophy drought,
Hmm.
the beautiful football was there. The goals were flowing. Under Wenger, Wenger allowed his boys to express
To
themselves.
express
You would
themselves.
see, you
It's not
watch
scared
clips
to
and see
concede
goals,
goals.
and you'd be like, "Oh, mom, man, this boy sabi play."
You
But
know,
now, we know they see everything just did somehow. You go to watch Arsenal match,
there
just
is
they do
one
like
thing. There is
this.
one thing I saw on Instagram. You know that under Wenger, you know that's goal Jack Wilshere scored that one touch,
Yeah, yeah. I
pa
think it
pa.
was against Norwich as well. It was such a
Against
beautiful
Norwich as
goal.
well. They're showing that on Instagram. Like, okay, our past game against Norwich. When I saw that goal, I said this ain't happening on Saturday. No
This
way.
ain't Arsenal anymore.
It's
Oh, but it
not.
happened against West Brom. We had some quality passing schemes against West. Is it
Oh,
that Saka goal?
listen, wait. Let me tell you one thing. You don't forget again. Say West Brom
Now,
where we
City
play.
we play.
Now see team. You understand? Don't get me wrong. We are playing Norwich and Norwich are coming to Emirates with full force. That they I'm telling you, their manager will be telling them, look, just rub your hand. This is our first 3 points. And those players will be you know what? Yeah. Brentford manager, yeah, they interview this guy and they ask him what is the target in the Premier League. Do you know what this guy said? This is how you're going to know that a manager has got brain and he knows what he's doing. This guy said we are in the Premier League to win it.
And that's Brentford manager.
That is Brentford manager. He said we are in the Premier League to win it. They're asking our own director of football. He's saying that we are not chasing top 10.
We're not even chasing anything. We're
I'm
just
telling
there.
you, if I can touch this guy, I will give him a slap. I'm
I
telling
thought
you,
they said,
that's
you know,
how
come mainland, though.
I will
If
give him
they
a
catch you
slap.
for
Listen,
mainland,
let
they
me tell you
go
one
host
thing,
you.
yeah. Let me tell you one thing, yeah. If Arsenal, because every time I remember the year Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, when they are not in any in European football, they finish higher in the table.
In the league, yeah.
Chelsea went on to win the Premier League that year.
Yeah.
Then what is stopping
And
Arsenal
this is what we
for?
were saying last season. Like, if you know you're not going to get European football, then you have no excuse to not, compete for the league. Or, I
Mhm.
mean, maybe it has too far fetched, but at least compete for top four. But now it's looking like we can't even compete for top four
You
because
know,
now it's already top seven or top eight again. But I'm hoping we can finish that eight. But more would they watch, but me, most people I still no Grisha or Norwich no go beat us.
so
Things
what
never
was your
bad with
prediction?
that.
What's your prediction then?
4-0. Arsenal twacking Norwich
Oh
4-0.
my
That's
So
my
are you
prediction.
telling me? Are you telling me Norwich then go come Emirate now? We go put glue on their boots. The glue.
Bro, come on. They're
Listen,
not savage. They come for
listen. Let
relegation.
me tell you one thing. Yeah, let me tell you one thing. Who did Norwich play? Yeah, they already. Norwich has played Liverpool, right?
Yes, now they've played let me just be sure. So.
Who did Norwich? Who is the
Mercy
three
boy,
game
I
Norwich
beg, I
played?
beg, I beg, I beg. They played
Listen,
Leicester. They
give,
lost
give
to
me give me the
Leicester
three game
2-1.
Norwich played. Yeah.
Okay, they played Leicester. The last time was Leicester they played and they lost
Uh-huh.
2-1.
Yeah.
Then they played City. City beat them 5-0.
Uh-huh.
Then they've also played Liverpool. Liverpool beat them 3-0. So
Okay. Let me tell you.
Liverpool,
Let me
City,
tell you one
Leicester.
thing. Let me tell you one thing. Let's say because Norwich has played Man City. They've played what was it called Liverpool
Liverpool and they played Leicester.
and Liverpool. I said okay, we are not at the same level. You are not in our
Mm-hmm.
level at all.
Yeah,
Man
3-0,
City has told them that you are not in our level at all.
5-0.
Leicester has already said, okay, we are moving away from you, so don't think we're now. Leicester, we said, okay, we want to go and play someone on our level now. We can beat them. And seriously, I will be here next Thursday and I'll be telling you that, baby guy, I told you. That is the way it is because I was even watching the training video. The training video, someone said in the training video, we are top of the league because you will be seeing them scoring
Say now we dey
different kind of
release training.
goals.
Oh man, we did not only for training now we dey score goal. For real
I'm
life, we
telling
all
you,
did
different
it.
kind of goals they scored. It's kind
Um,
of oh my
may God
days.
help us. But anyways, let's look at a few more fixtures that are coming up this week.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no, I don't think there's any like huge derby coming up, but some games that could potentially be interesting this week.
Mm-hmm.
One is Tottenham Crystal Palace, essentially because Tottenham haven't lost a single goal,
Mm-hmm.
haven't lost a single match
Single
this
match,
season.
yeah, yeah.
They sit at on top of the league.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't even considered a single
A
goal, which
single
is
goal.
funny, right?
I think that game, Patrick Vieira, because he doesn't like Tottenham, he's going to prepare
It's
his
going to
team.
prepare his team. Yeah, that's
He's
another
going,
reason why it'll be
yeah.
interesting because it's
Mm,
Tottenham playing against a team that's been managed by an Arsenal legend. And
mm,
what's funny about Tottenham so far is they've been played 3 games and they've
yeah.
won everything just by 1 goal margin. It's
By
one
one
nil,
goal,
one nil,
yeah.
1 0.
But
And I remember
if they
saying
keep
this.
winning 1-0
I
all the
remember
throughout
saying
the
this, and I
season,
was saying this when
yeah,
Nuno went to Spurs.
yeah.
Nuno is not an attacking manager. He will never score too many goals, but he will keep his team disciplined and
Discipline
compact.
and
And
compact,
that's
yeah.
what you can expect. And that's what we're already seeing. 3 games, 3 wins, but it was just 1 goal. Just three
Mm,
goals scored, but they haven't considered a single goal.
mm-hmm.
But I'm really hoping that, Vieira can pull something against them. But that's 1 game. So what do
Yeah,
you think?
but
What do you think will happen
the
in that game?
one thing I'm gonna say about Nuno, because when he was at Wolves, yeah, they always start the league good, right? Then as long as the season goes on, then they kind of fade and all. So I'm sure at some point teams will find
We'll
them
figure
out
them out.
and they'll figure
Yeah.
them out.
So
And,
what do you think will happen in Tottenham versus Crystal Palace or Crystal Palace versus Tottenham?
well, I'll probably say draw.
Draw, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, we'll see how that goes. By the way, I didn't take a few comments from sentiments earlier. It says Edu says Project Youth. Oh, and I see how he separated PR because now PR youth but still relying on experienced players to score goals. Where's Odegaard's goals? We need goals from midfield. Saka, ESR, Martinelli can't get a game. I mean, Saka scored for England during the week. ESR, I do believe in that guy. I just think that he can't do it alone. Odegaard, I don't know that Odegaard will score a lot of goals for us, but we'll see. He says Edu is happy to be in his job, just like the ambition he set for the club. Like Crystal Palace, Southampton. It's when you spoil this your project and separate the PR, they make me laugh. He's happy to be in the league, unacceptable for the club. I mean, we all know this, to be honest. This thing these men are doing, we can't accept it. Different between us now and the scum have direction, fan experience manager, and direction of football still operates on a lesser budget.
Mm.
Which is true, to be honest. And he's talking about sports here because they're the scum.
Mm.
But you can see that even though they didn't have the fanciest transfer window,
Mm-hmm.
they struggle to even find a manager. But you can clearly see that there's something they want to achieve, you know?
Yeah, but the thing that I don't get is, you know, I can see, maybe probably I can see the difference anyway, because Arsenal actually they build a brand new stadium. Tottenham doesn't build a brand new stadium. It's their old stadium. They just kind of expand it, if you understand what I mean. But w- they're not selling their best players to fund the stadium, whatever. I don't know. Why do we have to sell our own best player just for us to kind of, because then they're saying that, oh, because we are still paying for the stadium, but now I think all of that is out of
No,
the
you
window
can't
now.
say
But
that anymore now. That one,
anymore
Arsene
now,
Wenger
they
has helped
cannot
you to
say that
manage your
anymore.
finance. You know, you had a manager like Arsene Wenger who was content to have a
Mhm.
small budget and just groom talent, right?
Mhm.
And still operate that self-sustaining model for you. There are not many managers in the world that can do it,
Yeah.
right? And forever, people will always give Arsene Wenger credit for that. That even
Mhm.
when Arsenal didn't seem to have a lot of money, you managed to keep them in the big league, in the Champions League,
In the
for
Champions,
a
yeah.
good number of years before
Yes,
you
yeah.
fell off, right?
Mhm.
With almost no budget, with a mediocre budget. You were buying Galas and using Senderos to go to Champions League final. You were
Mhm.
buying players like Squillaci and doing all these
Mhm.
funny things, right? But
Mhm.
you still kept the team at the highest level for a good number of years. But the reason why you couldn't win and you couldn't challenge is because of that extra money you weren't spending. But at
Mhm.
least you didn't finish ace.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
so it be now. We will see. So yeah, anyways, we move. Another interesting game this weekend. The game that I think will probably have the highest scoring scoreline is Leeds versus Liverpool because Leeds United, you know them now. They
Yeah.
get press from minute 1 to minute 90,
I, li-
right?
I like I like Leeds because they're not scared.
They're not
They're not
scared. They
scared
they,
of
they play you.
anything. They just
Uh,
go out, they just play. If they concede, they concede. If they but they believe in their
they believe they
in
can
their
outscore
game.
you.
They can
I really like
score. They
that.
believe
Yeah.
they can because that is down to the manager. That
Yeah,
just go
and
out
you win
there,
games
just
by scoring goals at the end of the
you
day,
win
you
game
know.
by scoring goals.
You don't win
So
by defending.
it's good. I'm sure Liverpool will be too much for them.
Yeah.
However, because we're hearing now that Brazil, they banned their player playing
Some of
for
those
their club
players.
this
Yeah,
week.
yeah, true.
Liverpool might not have their best goalkeeper in goal. They might not
Liverpool.
have
You might have
some of their.
Firmino as
They might
well.
not have Flamino.
And
They might not have
Fabinho and all those
Fabino.
boys.
All those sort of things.
Hmm.
But it's
But
Liverpool.
yeah, it's Liverpool.
You know.
I do think Liverpool will beat them. But I
Mm.
think there'll be a lot of goals in that game,
Oh,
simply
yeah, of
because
course.
Leeds will also score
Hmm.
as well. So that should be an interesting fixture. And then I think what is similar, what is somewhat, like a top six derby is Leicester versus Man City. Um, but I think that Man City will be too much for Leicester. I don't know what you
Yeah,
think.
of course, of course. Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I mean, those are some of the interesting things that are happening this
Mm.
weekend. Hopefully,
Is there any
Arsenal
game? Is
win.
there any game in the evening, like 5:30 kickoff? Let me check.
I'm not sure. I mean, you know me, I see these games in US
Um,
time, and most of them
yeah,
are in the
I'm going
morning.
to check now.
But I think Everton Burnley is like 8 p.m. on Monday. Oh wow, there's a Monday.
Yeah, it's Chelsea Aston Villa is
Chelsea Aston Villa. Yeah,
late
that should be
kickoff.
like
Yeah,
5:30
yeah,
on
late
Saturday
kickoff,
evening. Yes,
and early kickoff is Crystal Palace and
and
Spurs.
Tottenham exactly.
Yeah,
That's that one's quite early.
yeah,
Uh, and Arsenal's game is by 10 a.m. Here. I mean, which I think is like 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
UK
that's
time.
correct.
So hopefully we can even get together to do a player rating
Man
after.
United have got an easy game, Newcastle.
Yeah, Newcastle. Yeah.
But
Hopefully
maybe
we
we're
can.
gonna be seeing Cristiano Ronaldo or something.
That would be fun. And
Mm.
Newcastle will be a good team for him to start against. He can, sharply start
You
to
know.
pad his stats
Mm.
against a somewhat easy opposition.
And
But
you see. The one thing I want to say, another thing you see, Brentford that would beat us in Arsenal. Yeah,
mhm.
since they beat Arsenal, they haven't managed to win another game since then. You know.
Now we dash them 3 points. Now we don't know what they do now. We look Brentford, give them 3 points. Every other person they've played, they've drawn. They drew, they didn't win.
Mm,
Now we
mm,
just say, oh yeah, Brentford, oh, welcome to the league. Take three
mm,
points. They played Aston Villa, they drew. They played Crystal Palace, they drew, but they beat
mm.
us now 2-0. Ridiculous.
I'm telling you, man.
Just highly ridiculous. Anyways,
And
Monsibo,
you will see now if Chelsea and Man City catch this team, if they catch Brentford,
bro, they go
they
flog them.
will-
They go flog them. And I should mention, right, because I think that of all the problems at Arsenal, right,
yeah,
the shining light we have in that how do I call it now? That company, because I
mm,
won't say that club alone, is the women's team, right? Because I follow the women's team actively.
yeah,
Just today they beat in the champions in the UCL for women, they beat Slavia Prague and it was 4-0.
that's
And
good.
the main striker Vivian Miedema scored a hat trick. She has now
That's
got
good.
100 goals in
Mm.
110 games for us now.
Wow, wow,
That for me is huge, right?
it's
And
huge.
I,
And
I
they
love
beat
watching the
Chelsea on the
women's
first
team.
game of the season
Yeah,
as
they
well.
beat Chelsea 3-2.
Yeah,
I love watching the women's team. They give me so much, especially now. We've played 4 games
mm.
this season and won all four.
Oh,
Right,
four. That's
they're
good.
a sharp contrast from the men.
You know,
A sharp contrast. So yeah, big ups to Arsenal
and
women.
and the women's team, they're giving them peanuts money. It's
Yeah,
not they're not getting paid as
of
the men.
course. You should
The
see they
men
don't
are
even
getting
get nobody
thousands.
fan. A lot of fans don't even watch. The stadium today was empty. Right,
Mm,
even when we played Chelsea, I mean, big ups to a lot of fans who went to watch them at the Emirates against Chelsea, but they don't pull the kind of crowd that the men pull.
you know.
Obviously, but they still get the job done, and for me, that's all that matters, man.
Mm,
But
mm,
it's been an interesting show.
mm.
It's the funniest thing is that Mossy Boy, everybody, I don't know, Mossy Boy has become too
You
pessimistic.
can you can ask people in the comment to predict the score. You
Sentiments.
will see a lot of
Do you
people who said
agree? If you're still there, sentiment and football fans tribe, do you people agree that Norwich is going to beat us now? Please tell me you don't agree with Mossy Boy.
mm, mm.
Feel free to put your
I'm waiting for
your
Tade to
predictions in the
drop. I'm
comment
waiting
section
for
as
Tade
well.
to drop the
When
score.
Tade watches it, he won't believe it as well. Feel free to drop your.
Listen, this team, they just, I think the only thing that is left in my system now is just the little blood I'm using to survive. They've drained me. I
They've
don't have
drained,
any
man.
confidence in them
They've
at
drained the
all.
fans. That's
You
all.
know,
It's hard to have any confidence in Arsenal at the moment.
seriously, it's got to a stage now that if Arsenal score goals, I don't celebrate no more. It's just, well,
Because
they
the
score
truth is
goals.
that, and yeah, I have a few. I know a few people who have said this as well. They've taken away the joy
The
of supporting
joy,
Arsenal. The joy
you
isn't there
understand what I
anymore
mean?
because you know
I
that
even I even celebrate more even when Man City score goals on or when
because
Chelsea. I
even
even
if we even if we go ahead and demolish Norwich, right, and we beat Burnley, you know that
mm,
at the end of the day,
but
it's
the
just a
thing
matter of
is,
time
the thing
before
is, the
we
thing
mess up
is,
again.
if we go ahead now and beat Norwich, like maybe probably like you said 4-0, we're going to go to Burnley and lose. We go to Spurs and lose.
You know,
Then what is the point of that 4-0?
exactly. It's just a matter of so it's why nobody really gets excited when we win games or when we score because you're like, I beg, you people go still go focus. This sentiment say it could happen. It could happen on form. 1-1, 3-1 Norwich. Giving Arsenal goal is positive as hell. Look, at least this man is positive. He's not saying Norwich is going to beat us. Eh? I don't
Look,
know.
look,
Musty
look,
boy
look look
just
at he
negative.
said 3-1 Norwich.
Oh, really? Yeah, am I
Giving
reading this
Arsenal
wrongly?
goals is positive as hell.
Oh, oh my!
It
I'm
means
surrounded by too many negative fans. You people see, Adam, I think he said when Arsenal score, particularly in the league, it really doesn't mean much. And yeah, this is what we're just saying. It doesn't mean much
Mm,
because even if you win one game, I know that this doesn't mean that you're back. You know,
mm.
you
But
might go to
another
the
thing
next one
is
and
if
shame
if
us.
not if Norwich score first and it's
You
half
don't
time.
build it at that
No,
one.
no. If
Once
if
Norwich
if
score, I'm
if
done.
Norwich score first and is
And it's
we go
halftime.
in
Oh,
half time,
it
we
don't
come
end
back
with
and
that.
we ain't winning that game.
We
Trust
don't
me.
win it. Right? We've never done it under Ateta, so I won't
Nah,
believe that we will start under
nah.
Norwich. So hopefully Norwich doesn't score first or they don't lead at
Well,
halftime.
okay. I
Because if
heard
they
you.
do, then that's the end.
Okay. All right.
Oh god, it'll be so disappointing. But we're gonna see. I really hope that we pull. I mean, we start to revive our season
Because I've
against
said it
Norwich.
twice now that Chelsea are going to win comfortably. They did. Man City win comfortably. They did. Then I'm telling you now, Norwich they won't need to get to third gear for them to beat Arsenal.
Uh-uh, Mossy boy, you can't be
Yes,
saying it's Norwich. Oh. They've lost their 3 games as well. They're not better than us. Oh. And
they,
Sentiment is
they've,
saying a
they've
draw is
scored.
positive on form.
They've scored a
They
goal in the
scored
league.
one goal against Leicester now.
Yeah, they can score another goal at the Emirates and win with that one goal.
Oh my
So
god, this
who,
is
who
this
said it?
is
Well, you said they are not better than us. Who said we're better
I,
than them?
yeah, he said I said 1-1 or 3-1. You
Uh,
need to clarify a sentiment. This 3-1, is it 3-1 Arsenal or
or
3-1
3-1
Norwich?
Norwich.
Because I believe it's Arsenal. You're not like Mossy Boy who is saying Norwich will beat us.
It's 3-1 Norwich.
Oh my goodness, this is
Ah,
this is funny.
trust,
But yeah,
man.
anyways, I mean, I think it's a good time to try to wrap up the show.
Yeah,
It's been an interesting show as well.
you know.
Hopefully, uh, we start to, like I said, I hope we start to revive our season from this week. And hopefully, to me, I think we need to find a way to change this project. This project is not working.
Yeah,
Um,
before you wrap up the show, I want to say
yeah,
something. First of all, what I want to say is, if in any way we lose to Norwich, I want to say every single Arsenal fan that are on YouTube needs to make a video. We need to march down to Emirates and make sure that that day Atata is gone. We're not going to leave him in there for the next game. No way. It's enough. It's enough. Emery doesn't have this long before. It doesn't. This guy, his record is worse than Emery's record. So he needs to leave. If he lose to Norwich in any shape or form, he needs to go.
it can't be tolerated.
Definitely. The second thing I want to say is, I don't know the number of people watching, and please, 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 you know, if you subscribe on this channel, it's going to really, really help us on this channel. You can subscribe, share, like, you know,
Help the
it's going
channel
to
grow,
help the
my
channel
people. Help
grow.
the channel
So
grow.
I would say we're new. We're trying to grow. We're trying to kind of we're not. I'm not saying we're the best. So we're just trying to kind of you know
Like we always say now, we're just a bunch of Niger boys who are bantering
you
about
know
football. Is what it is.
that's it. That's the thing. So if you could subscribe and get us to our 1,000 subscribers, that would be
That would be
really, really
absolutely
good. Yeah,
amazing. Yeah, yeah, we really
yeah.
love that. Our sentiment has finally confirmed though that it's 2-1 Norwich. Oh. Hey,
I tell
too
you.
much negativity here. But anyways, yeah, like Mercy Boy said, please like the video, please subscribe, please help us grow. We really appreciate it. And big ups to every single person watching us right now and everybody that's commenting. Sentiments is a big part of the family. Big ups to you. Football fans tribe as well. Thank you for coming. We would like to have you on the show again at some point. We've enjoyed having you on the show a few times already. And big ups to you, Adam. With so yeah, thanks a lot, guys. As a, you know now, this is Lasgidi Effect again,
Mhm.
and episode 15, right? Next week
Mm.
when we're back next Thursday, I hope that at least Arsenal would have put 3 points on the table and 4 goals on the record in the league, and we can start to move on from there.
Okay.
Big ups to you, Mossy Boy, and big ups to everybody. See you next week.
All right. Peace.
Tick tock, time na money. Ori, me, check a shake yori. Lick it, come and take me away to the place of my desire. I don't wanna be there.